Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are solving count odd numbers in an interval range. So the problem tells us that we are given two non-negative integers low and high, and we want to return the count of odd numbers between low and high. And the key is that they are inclusive. So if you look at this example, low is 3 and high is 7. 5 is in between, but since it's inclusive, we have to include 3 and 7. So there are 3 odd numbers, so we return 3. And if you look at example 2, there's 8 and 10. And 9 is the only odd number between 8 and 10, so we return 1. So now that we have seen some examples, let's get to how we can solve this problem. So for the scenarios of this problem, we can have 4 types of inputs. The first type is 2 odd numbers, in which case we will have to include both the high and low. So it will be 3, 5, and 7, which are 3 odd numbers. And next is 2 even numbers, which we just pick all the odd numbers in between the numbers, which is 5 and 7. And if one is odd and one is even, we have to include whichever one is odd. And the last one is if the high number is even and the low is odd, which we include the low number. So what we can do is we can kind of visualize it like a number line, and we can take all the odd numbers from 0 to the high number and subtract by all the odd numbers from 0 to the low number. And in this example, it will be 5, 7, and 9, and we will return 3 as our result. So it will work for this example, but it gets more tricky if, let's say, the low number is 5, because if we include 5, then technically the result will be 7 and 9, and that is not the case. So actually when the low number is odd, we will not count this one because the problem is inclusive. They want us to include the 5. So we will subtract by this minus 1, and we will need a formula for that. So the formula that we can use is to calculate the numbers from 0 to high. We can take the ceiling of high divided by 2. So like 9 divided by 2 would be 4.5, and it'll round up to 5. And as you can see, we have 5 of them. And for the odd numbers from 0 to low minus 1, and it would be low minus 1 because of this issue, we would do the floor. So if you look at right here, 5 divided by 2 would be 2.5, and it'll round down to 2, and 5 minus 2 equals 3, so it'll be correct here. So the complete formula would be this: ceiling of high divided by 2 minus floor of low divided by 2. So then we can look at some examples here. Ceiling of 7 divided by 2 minus floor of 3 divided by 2 is 3, and it's 3, 5, and 7 within this range. And if you look at this example, ceiling of 10 divided by 2 minus floor of 8 divided by 2 is 1. And there's an odd number 9 within this range, so this returns 1 as well. And the time complexity and space complexity will both be O of 1 because the inputs will not affect the time and space of this problem, since no matter how large or small the inputs are, we will just be plugging in a formula. So the time would be constant and the space would be constant as well. So now let's get to the coding part. So first we will calculate high, which is the ceiling of high divided by 2. And now we calculate the low, so it will be the floor of low divided by 2. And then we will just return high minus low. And let's see if it works. Okay, perfect. Hope this was helpful. Thank you all for watching. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to leave in the comment section, and I hope to see you all again soon.